Greetings, fellow citizens of White Pine Bay. Tiki here, and welcome to the Bates Motel. Welcome to Talking Mrs. Bates, I should say, the show where we check into the Bates Motel, but we don't always check out. All right, folks, so this is a different kind of podcast. We are going to be doing a trilogy of Bates Motel podcasts to wrap things up for the week. We just got done. I literally stopped watching the Bates Motel series finale about 8 minutes ago. I just want to get this underway and under wraps. And there's Dragon right now. How the hell you doing, Dragon? You're joining me live. You're on live. And the only reason we're doing that is because I want to watch Better Call Saul like right now. So time crunch, man. Dragon,
how much time do we have?
Not much. Putting you on the spot right now. How the hell? How do you feel about the season finale of Bates Motel, the series finale of Bates Motel, Dragon? How did you feel? What are your emotions right now?
Well, I've had time to digest it, but I tell you, I wept uncontrollably at the ending. I thought it was amazing. It really got me. It was just the perfect note to go out on.
Yeah. I definitely think the series finale was very, very satisfying. I don't think it tried to do any big, like, oh my God, shocker moments or anything like that. We got just enough of a wrap up for all of the main characters. I'm gonna dance around the spoilers, Dragon. Okay, I was about to set up before you got. Yeah.
Well, we can say, and there was an afterward special. They did like a nice little tribute. Basically, they talked about making the series as a whole for like half an hour. Really nice little tribute. They did everyone was there, and they mentioned that. So then we kind of knew already is that they plotted out. They wanted to do 5 seasons. They were able to do 5 seasons. They knew the ending when they started way back when. They always knew how it was going to end, and I'm really glad they were able to make the show they wanted to make.
All right, so folks, just to plot it out, Dragon, as I was saying before you came on here, we're going to do a trilogy of Bates episodes throughout the week. This is the first one, just basically our first reactions, kind of talking through just a few points, Dragon. I don't really have time to go into much, but just, a few general topics you want to go over. And then, of course, we'll be doing it.
You are aware Better Call Saul repeats itself, right? Like one comes on right after the other one.
That's true.
You are aware, literally, if you wait, we could technically talk for an hour, and then you'd be able to watch the whole thing.
Well, I'm trying to watch it with my dad, and he's about to go to sleep. So, okay. Anyways, Dragon. So, of course, we'll be back to do a full-blown recap of this to cover it in depth, in detail, all the little, all the little Normanisms and tragic moments and so sads and everything you want. And then, Dragon, as an epilogue to our Bates Motel coverage, we are going to be talking about the one that started it all, the original Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. So, Dragon, what we're going to be doing with that podcast is we're going to be talking about Psycho and how it relates to Bates Motel, the stylization, and, of course, the legacy of the movie and its impact on the horror genre, the thriller genre on a whole, and all sorts of stuff with Psycho. We're going to dive right into Psycho. But before we do that, Dragon, I'm just going to come up with a format on the spot here. I think you and me are going to come up with 3 talking points that you want to come up with for this episode really quick. Just what are the 3 main things that stick out to you that you want to talk about that don't give anything away?
All right. Let's just say a huge point of the episode. Again, there's no particular order, but like just 3 talking points, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a let's just say, as we've tracked for all the times we've been talking about Bates Motel with talking Mrs. Bates, we always point out one of the things I've been proud to point out, the whole blackout tally. We've been keeping track of the blackout modes and everything. So this episode, amazingly, we ascend we get a blackout mode stage 5.
Ooh.
We get stage 5. We ascended the established order. We're into new scary kind of it's tragic territory.
Basically, like the second half of the episode onwards. Yes,
Act 2 kind of ascends the pre-established kind of blackout format. So it kind of takes us into Act 1 amazing plot twist happens that we didn't see coming.
Yes. I love how, let's just say, like, the confrontation at the end is very much switched around to how pretty much everyone was predicting it. Yeah.
So, basically, the way it's structured is structured very well. We have our opening, which is kind of our big plot twist, which again now like the rules are out for how the next 2 acts are going to go. So Act 1 really just has you in there like the first 10 minutes, like first 10 to 17 minutes, like oh my god.
Oh.
Act 1 just again blows you out of the water, and then you're just like, how the heck is it? Where the heck are we going with this? And then basically, let's just say by the end, you're in a place of like you're putting it together, and you're wondering, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Like, oh my god, you're seeing how things are. The trail's been seeded through the other 4 seasons. Like, oh my god, they've been building towards this.
Okay, one quick talking point that I'm going to get into without spoilers, Dragon, is the bittersweet happiness we get at the end of it all.
It made me weep uncontrollably.
Yeah. Let's just say, like, I don't know. It's so great because at the end of the day, folks, without saying which, like one of our characters does get kind of to ride off into the sunset, but what's really
everyone meets their logical conclusions.
What's really haunting about the ride off into the sunset, Dragon, and we'll talk about it more, of course, in our in-depth podcast, is how has this event affected said character and what implications? Like, are things happy as things are happy as they appear on the surface level? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot of kind of like, no matter, this is a scarring incident for everyone involved, no matter how long they live or how happy they might seem on the surface level. And that's something I want to break down because it's very much a happy ending for some, but at the same time, this is the most depressing series finale I've seen in a long time. You know what I mean? Just very much so. Like, it's all hands on deck.
It's kind of funny. A lot of, let's just say this without getting into specifics, a lot of the theories and speculations I've had just for the series as a whole, especially getting into this last season, they kind of had, but they were reversed in places.
Right.
That's kind of weird. A lot of the stuff I technically called kind of our ending in somewhat. We'll get
a little bit. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, again, I don't want to give anything away, but yeah.
You have another talking point, Dragon?
Let's see. One of the things. This isn't that much of a spoiler. Basically, let's just say a part of our stage 5 blackouts involves kind of the proper version of Norma, which I was kind of glad that we got. We kind of got a happy version of Norma seeded in through the episode.
Yeah, seeded in, and then, of course, it's just like the Pixar Trail of Tears,
kind of the way Norma
follow me to the most depressing ending ever. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. You're going to cry, Norman, you're going to cry.
But I was glad that we got this to see, like, Norma as she actually was.
No, I hear you.
That was a really smart move. Again, this time I was hoping for we get in the end, and we got that. It at least worked in there in the end. Also, of course, I know there's one point I'm wondering if you're going to bring it up or not. Of course, we got, like, some familiar things coming back.
I'll make that my second point, Dragon, okay?
There you go.
All right, folks, this is a minor spoiler that's like just kind of a fan thing that I don't think anyone's really going to care if we spoil Dragon. Oh, God, say it with me.
I was confused the whole time.
Say it with me in 1, 2, 3.
Remo!
Oh, my God, Dragon, yes. Is it odd? Like, of course, it being me, I'm just like, that is probably the thing I'm most excited about out of the whole series. But no Cupcake Boy. Sadly, no Cupcake Boy. Wouldn't it be great if Cupcake Boy was on the side, just like, yeah, what's up? I'm Remo's partner. Yeah, me and him do a lot of business together. We're bros.
Yeah, would have been cool if he just poked his head out of the truck.
All right. But that was.
It would have been nice if there was like a throw-in line of, I even hired that gunner kid at my distillery or something.
All right, Dragon. Last talking point, Dragon. Make it count. Your last talking point.
All right, let me think. Oh boy. Oh yeah, okay. I gotta mention
Okay.
this because possibly
Okay.
this tonight something else came back. It's kind of in the vein of this. So again, there was a lot of heavy kind of young Bruce Wayne moments in this episode. I was really pleased by. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and I'm saying we cranked up like some of the most heroic Dylan emulating the young Bruce Wayne in this last episode. So many points. And basically, I'll say this much. The thing I was going to make on air, I can still say it here, is just that, and this is encouraged, it puts pressure on my associate here. Again, let's just say the third act heavily is similar to the next Batman story by Scott Snyder. TK and I'll be diving into Death of the Family. Let's just say extremely similar circumstances.
Fine. I'll do it. All right.
Which just that when
I'll
I put it together,
my promise on air. I'll get it. Fine. You broke me. You broke me.
But I'm not saying like I was like amazed, like oh my god, it's like the minute the third act was kind of getting formulating. Sorry. Was being formulated. It's like, oh god, like, I know where they're going. And the minute this certain thing, it's very similar. Death of the Family. Oh my god, the ultimate young Bruce Wayne payoff. Yes.
Okay, Dragon. The last thing I want to talk about, appropriately enough, is bookends.
You mean like one side's Dylan, one side's Norman? You put like all your Vera Farmiga love affair books in the middle there?
No, well, I mean, one side is season 1. The season 1 box set, right? And then the other side is the season 5 box set.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I mean by bookends.
Right.
Without giving too much away, I think this episode does a beautiful job of calling back to why we fell in love with Norma in the first place, why we fell in love with the show, kind of the magic of season 1. Dragon, I was kind of talking about how much I like that scene with Emma that still really sticks with me from the penultimate episode where she's throwing her mother's ashes over the valley, and it's the same valley that we had all those adventures with. And, it just gives me a sense of nostalgia and almost kind of like this deja vu almost, because the show is like, I don't know. It's like we feel like over these past 5 years.
Let's just say deja vu does play. Deja vu does play heavily in the last episode.
It does. So, like, what do you think about that? Do you think it's something that I feel like a lot of shows do is kind of draw heavily onto their pilot episode as they get into their final episode? But did you like that? Because I think it was very well done.
Well, again, T, I love that very much so because it kind of ties into, let's just say, kind of the stage 5 blackout mode in a way. In a fundamental way, so that was such a brilliant way to kind of remind everyone of why you fell in love with the show in the first place, and do it for a story relevant reason. And it adds to kind of the emotions and the character's journey in such a fundamental way. And it kind of does what most shows like to do. They like to call back kind of the series as a whole.
Sure. Okay, so Dragon, I feel like we've reached our end point tonight, but of course, as I said, we'll be back to do a full-blown Bates Motel. I mean, this one, folks, expect it to be probably about 2.5 hours. I'm making no bones about it. It'll be a long one. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to give it a proper send-off. We're going to count the pennies, Dragon. We're going to count the pennies.
We're going to need inside out. We're going to need inside-out tissues.
I'll make sure we got those handy, believe me. So, any final words, Dragon? Any parting words?
I'll say this much. I personally, it's so funny. I'm very much in Norman's mindset after watching the episode. In that I don't want to accept that it's over. Part of me doesn't want to do like the last episode of Talking Mrs. Bates because I don't want to accept that. I just want to. Can't we just start over? Can't we just go back to season 1 and just
actually? I have ideas about that. That we'll talk about. But perhaps this might not be the end of Talking Mrs. Bates. I'll just say that much, Dragon. Even though this is the end.
Well, you know what I mean? It's just I'm very much in agreement with Freddie Highmore. Who, again, very similar to what Norman does in the episode as well. Just, again, I don't want to I don't want to accept that it's over. But again, it was such a beautiful ride.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that it's over. But my God, what a ride!
It was satisfying, man, and it was worth the ride. And I'm gonna write out a long diatribe Facebook post about all this. And
it's like we checked everyone. We all drove up to this nice cozy motel. We stayed, we fell in love with the people, we had our breakfast, we had our breakfast, we kind of got to know the innkeeper, the family, the whole 9 yards, and now it's like we've stayed for 5 years now, and now it's time to go because we're out of money, but we have to go.
Well said, Dragon. I think we'll just end it on that. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you, Carlton Hughes, Carrie Aaron, Freddie Highmore, Vera Farmiga, Max Terriot, Ryan Hurst,
In Spirit.
Yeah. Olivia
Carbonell.
Cook. Yeah, Nestor Carbonell, Olivia Cook.
Tucker Gates.
Tucker Gates. Sure.
And the rest. Especially that one guy.
Yeah. Okay.
And Cambridge.
All right. And thank you most of all, Juno. Thank you most of all. And the state of Oregon. All right. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end, Dragon.